You know what I don't have for a game is a river. Let's make one. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blast Arcade Painting. I haven't done a terrain video in a while, so I figured this will be a good one because I need a river for some games of Silver Bayonet. So let's do it. First thing I do is I take some thin MDF board. I got this at the dollar store here in Canada. It's Dollarama, and it's like 5 sheets for like $4, and you can cut it with a X-Acto knife, so you just score it down, and then you can break it off. So I just laid my original cut piece on top of the sheet and made another cut piece. I'll use my knife to bevel the edge a little bit. I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to glue some rocks to the edges. These are just rocks I got out in my driveway. So you can always find stuff out in nature. Although I don't think driveways are technically nature. But they're nature adjacent. Nature adjacent places always have stuff. So we need to work up the land mass a little bit so that there will be a river and like a bit of a, an edge to the river and everything. So I'm going to use my glue gun to just start putting in basically the edge of where that river will be. And I'll kind of make sure that I put the ends together so that everything's sort of going to line up. I mean, it's not going to be perfect because we don't do perfect here and we're not measuring anything. So once I have that edge, I'll start using my glue gun back and forth and pushing out glue to create the shores. I don't know if it's a shore when it's a river. A bank. The bank of the river. Oh my gosh. So we can just use our glue gun to build up our landform there. Now you could easily use Sculpt-A-Mold. You could use a trick that I've used before is you put down like strips of tinfoil and then you glue over like paper towel that you've put into glue water. So like paper mache. You can do all that, but the glue gun trick is super fast and super easy. Like, you're not going to want to create a whole board with this, but just for like a modular river, this is a really easy way to do it. So once that's done, I am going to take some watered down PVA, put it all over the glue that I already did, and then I'm going to put sand all over it. And this is sand that I just got at a nature adjacent area. Or that I stole from the beach. It doesn't matter where I got the sand, okay? Doesn't matter. Whether I bought it at the hardware store, I took it from the beach, or I took it directly out of my child's sandbox. Which is like stealing from him, but I bought it, so it's my sand. But I gave it to him. These are conundrums. Just take the sand from the kids. It doesn't matter. Either way, the sand's going all over this. Next, I can take some cashmere tan from Acrylique. These are just some craft paints from the dollar store. I love using this stuff for terrain because it doesn't break the bank and there's a ton of it. And I'm just going to put this all over the sand. Then I'm going to take my dipping inks from Green Stuff World and I'm going to put this all over that cashmere tan that I just did. Take a little bit of Stonewall Gray and I'm going to put this all over the rocks. Now, if I had a craft gray, I would do it, or if I could mix one. But I just had this there, so it was just the easiest thing to grab. I'm going to take some Griff Charger Gray and put this all over the rocks. Then I'm going to take some Brownish Decay and I'm going to put just some spot areas on these rocks. And this is a method called leopard spotting that a lot of the train guys use. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Ancient Honey and I'm also going to put some spots on the rocks that way while the Brownish Decay is still wet, and kind of let them mix together on the rock. Move it around and you get some varying colors in those actual rocks. Then I'm going to take some Berserker Bloodshade and do the same thing while that stuff is still wet, and just add that to the colors, kind of let it mix on the rock, move it around a little bit, and we get some interesting rocks. I'm going to take some burnt umber and some leaf green. I'm going to basically darken down, muddy down that leaf green. And I'm just going to put this all over the water. You could easily do this with blue instead, but I want a swampy river. I want a dirty, swampy river for Silver Bayonet. And I'm going to take a little bit of blue and some green and make sort of this color. This is a really gross, disgusting green. And this is going all over the water too. So that other color didn't work out as well, so I'm kind of retconning with this swampy color. You're going to take a little bit of scrofulous brown, and we're going to do a dry brush on all these sandy areas. You can also put this right over the rocks if you want. And we're going to just grab a little bit of pale sand, and we're going to do a very light dry brush up on all those sandy areas. And we're going to take some water gel swamp green. We're going to put this all over the water. A little bit up on the banks, a little bit at the edge. And we're just going to put it on fairly thick. Now, before this dries, and I know not everybody has an airbrush. I'm using this because I have it. I'm going to use the airbrush to now create ripples in that swamp gel. You could use a straw and blow on it. It doesn't have to be an airbrush. This is just going to make it faster for me. And it's going to add these ripples into it and make it look really gross and disgusting and kind of moving around. And I'm going to leave those to dry basically overnight. And you're going to be able to see that here through the magic of editing and computers. Here they are dried, and that's how they look. So here it is all finished up, and honestly, I'm really happy with this. It's a simple, easy project. You guys can do this. All you have to get is that water gel, and you can get different colors for that if you want to do a blue one. But this was a lot of fun. What do you guys think? Honestly, for the most part, this is a really cheap way to do these. Because I think at the end of the day, if you take all the materials minus the water gel, and I mean, you have to take into account that you already have a glue gun. But like, the glue sticks were $2. Paints that I used in total were like $2, and instead of the Green Stuff World dipping inks, you could just use a dark like brownish black and water it down and do a wash that way. The rocks are from outside, the sand is from outside. Those paints, I mean, like, you can do this thing before the water gel for like $15, and you can do a ton of them. I did 4 here. But I had enough from that package of MDF to do a way more if I needed to. The water gel, I think, was $12. But I got it like 2 years ago. Either way. And then instead of using the airbrush to make the ripples, you can just blow on it with a straw. Or, I don't know, if you have an air compressor outside, you can do the same thing. There are definitely alternatives. Oh, a bike pump, which they sell at Dollarama. Balloon pump, anything like that, you could use that instead. I just have the airbrush, it's right there, so I'm going to use that because it's quickest. It gives it a really cool finish, and now you have some modular rivers that you don't have to keep a huge river to go across a 3x3. You could add bends into it and make a bunch of different ways to put it together. I just did a straight river because that's what I needed at the time. But yeah, it's an easy project. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of the YouTube stuff, and you guys have a great day. You would not want to swim in that. That is filthy, filthy water. Probably, like, that's the kind of water that makes the Joker.